From Cleveland's most accurate weather team, this is 19 First Alert Plus. Sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. It is a First Alert weather day. The First Alert 19 weather team has designated it such because of, well, a lot of the weather that we had this morning, and then there was potential for severe weather. Live look outside right now, 71 degrees. You've heard the phrase sucking the air or sucking the energy right out of the room. That really applies to today. We're going to bring in 19 First Alert meteorologist Sam Roberts. Sam, what I mean by that is I've been around you professional folks enough to understand that on a summer day like today, if we have a lot of sunshine and a lot of humidity, that's just fuel. But when we have cloud cover like we've had for much of the day, that just sucks the energy right out of what was supposed to be severe weather for us. Do I have it even, am I close?
Yeah, you're spot on. That was actually a great explanation. Sometimes I think folks get a little too technical. That was perfect, and that is exactly what's happened today. We had all that rain come through this morning. It was pouring down rain, and if you stay cloudy and you never clear out again, you're just not going to see much, if anything, in the way of what we would consider to be severe weather. That's the case for Cleveland, but down south, we need to keep watching here. You can see most of the thunderstorm activity is south of I-90, so obviously a much higher threat for severe weather to the south, and particularly places like Canton, Dover, New Philly, Wayne County, Southern Summit County, Carroll County. We had some clearing there a couple of hours ago. Now the clouds are kind of starting to fill back in. We're not seeing anything right now that would be considered severe, and you can see again our threat for that along the lake shore is basically zero, but very isolated severe thunderstorm possible. Southern Summit County, Northern Stark County, basically Akron to Canton, and then a few severe thunderstorms may occur Dover, New Philly, Carrollton, over towards the East Palestine. That's where the highest threat is locally for some severe thunderstorms this afternoon.
Yeah, so walk us through the next 12 hours before we look at what's happening out south and east of us, because that is just a nasty radar you've got there.
Yeah, I mean, this is really bad to our south and east, so the threat obviously shifting out of our area, but we're still not totally done with rain just yet. You don't need me to tell you it's exceptionally gloomy outside, right? It's very gray. It's been raining today. We still have some rain out there at Cleveland Hopkins Airport. That's where that rain icon observation is coming from. It's a lot cooler than average, and it's going to stay pretty cool through the evening. We're definitely not going to warm up much, if at all, over the next few hours. I think in Cleveland, our window for rain is rapidly closing, although I wouldn't rule out a few isolated showers this afternoon, even for early innings of the Guardians game this evening. Best threat for seeing scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, next 12 hours, is kind of the places we were talking about a few minutes ago, Akron and especially south of Canton. Before 10 p.m., some scattered storms possible down that way. Everybody else just gloomy and cool this evening.
Let's take a look at that radar before we take this 15-second break here. What's going on south and east of us is just nasty.
Yeah, this is a really big mess. This map, I know it looks really kind of crazy. A lot of colors going on here. I'll take the clouds off. You can see multiple warnings here. All the orange warnings, these are severe thunderstorm warnings. You can see that for some counties in West Virginia. And then, of course, we have the red box down to the south. I'll delete those so you can see that. This is southwest of Roanoke. pretty much one of the worst places to have a tornado warning, which is right around I-77 and I-81, kind of where those two roads intersect there, west of Pulaski. This is a very mountainous area, very tough to drive in, even on a sunny day. The roads are really curvy, so we do have an active tornado warning down that way. And then we've got all these yellow boxes here. These are also severe thunderstorm warning boxes. So really active, lots of thunderstorms, flash flood warnings, and in fact for a lot of areas in portions of northern West Virginia. And you can see it's not just West Virginia, Virginia, and Maryland. It's all the way down into the Tennessee Valley, northern Alabama, speaking of mountainous areas, North Georgia, East Tennessee. Look, we have another tornado warning there, south and west of Bristol. We have a tornado warning down to the south. So, Dan, this is a messy map. I can actually show you the wide severe thunderstorm threat boxes for today. You can see we're on the far northwestern end of this. So our highest risk for severe thunderstorms, Western Virginia, Northern Virginia, all that red.
Right where it's playing out, just exactly where that shows.
The 81 corridor, that's where the worst of the weather will occur. And then also a highest risk would be in the orange too. So even Raleigh, Atlanta, Charlotte, and then the risk gets a little bit smaller as you get into those green and yellow areas.
So even though it's gray for a lot of Cleveland, and there are some potential down in Akron and Canton, it is nothing compared to what they are getting out east and south of us. So we're going to take that 15-second pause and look at the rest of our week worth of weather. Boy, that is a crazy radar to look at. Sam, thanks for that. Just give us 15 seconds.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
And that's exactly what our 19 First Alert weather team does, keeping an eye out for you. Sam, a little bit of everything this week.
Yeah, a little bit of everything except heat, right? Low 80s for highs. Typical highs this time of the year, 83 at the beginning of the 7-day, 82 by the end of the 7-day. So we're right around average for this time of the year. Beautiful tomorrow and Wednesday. I will say tomorrow night, there may be a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, but nothing as widespread or organized as what we saw today. And then our next best chance for more numerous thunderstorms would be on Thursday. Scattered storms will be moving through. Friday, we get a break. Friday looks really good. It's just going to be a little humid. And then the weekend, always the weekend. Scattered storms coming in on Saturday. A few isolated storms possible Sunday. So if you're going to the feast this weekend, definitely want to be sure you have that 19 First Alert weather app downloaded to your phone. It will always alert you in the event of severe weather moving into your location.
A lot going on this weekend. Summer's in full swing. At Feast is, at least it's not going to be 90 degrees, but always seems to have a chance for rain at the Feast. 19 First Alert meteorologist Sam Roberts, thank you for being a part of the team, keeping an eye on it for us.
All right, we'll see you at 3.
All right, take care. We do have 3.5 hours of news and weather coming up at 3 o'clock, especially for our viewers in Akron and Canton. You saw that map, that radar could potentially throw some stuff your way. So make sure you tune in to us at 3 o'clock. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now. Have a